Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. And this afternoon in Moments Art History, we will be discussing the Impressionist art movement. Impressionism was started by Claude Monet in 1872 when he painted this painting, Impression Sunrise. As you can see, this painting is much different than what we have been looking at in the past, as far as it is very painterly. Other things are the atmospheric perspective you see, and Claude Monet was not interested in telling a story. He was not interested in making things look real. The only thing that interested Claude Monet was capturing light. Quite a big transition from telling the stories of Jesus, I would say. Another big difference is we now get to talk about women, at least two of them. Berthe Morisot was a phenomenal artist, and it was respected by the Impressionists, and she showed regularly, and was the girlfriend of famous artist Edmond Manet, who we will talk about later. And there's an American woman named Mary Cassatt, who painted these lovely paintings of children and their mothers in these soft pastel colors. The last artist I want to touch on is Auguste Renoir. He was fascinated by the young people at the time. He was fascinated by the youth of the time and the fun they would have. So we're going to look at one of his most famous works as well. Now, Claude Monet, as I said, started Impressionism, and through that really kind of shook up the art world. Impressionism, the name itself, comes from an art critic ridiculing Monet and saying that his work wasn't a painting, but it was simply an impression of a painting. Of course, Monet clung to that title and ran with it, something that we will see later repeated when we talk about Fauvism. So, as we look at this painting, you can see the sun way off in the distance in this early morning. As it peeks through and it burns through the fog. Not really worried about what the water looks like, what the fisherman looks like, or really even what the sun looks like. But what does the light look like? You can also notice the brighter colors. These bright, soft pastel colors are a common theme in Impressionist work. Another thing that is really apparent in Impressionism is the influence of Japanese woodblock prints. You could tell that they had been collecting woodblock prints, which they could get rather cheaply, made by artists like Hokusai and Hiroshige, and you could see their impact in the high horizon line, in the diagonal compositions, in the flat areas of color, and in the way they juxtaposed complementary colors. Now when I say juxtapose, I simply mean put side by side. So if you want to look really tall, go stand by a really short person. If you want to look really short, go stand by a really tall person. You get the idea. Contrast. So, that is a very big deal to me. It's important that artists always expand on their horizons to learn as much as possible to make the best work they can. Alright, now let's look at the work of Mary Cassatt. You can see the exact same colors you expect to see in Claude Monet's work, the soft pinks and purples, the light blues, but instead of painting nature and water lilies, Mary Cassatt's focus was on mothers with her children. And I really enjoy her work, and the painterly approach to capturing form is very perfect for her time. The last painting I want to look at today is Boating Party by Auguste Renoir. This painting, again, you see the high horizon line, you see the diagonal composition, you see that it was painted very painterly or loose. It was fluid. Renoir, unlike Monet, was not trying to capture the light, but the spirit of the time. Thank you for joining me in this video as we discussed the Impressionist art movement and three of its major contributors. I appreciate your time and interest, and have a great day.